All right, everybody, welcome back into another live charting. I meant to do this last night. Just a moment of honesty. I was solo parenting this weekend, and both my kids fell asleep. I finally got my son asleep, my older son asleep at 9:15, and then I had just realized that I was way too tired, and I went to bed. So I'm recording this afternoon, and I'm going to get it up as soon as I'm done here. So in this game, we are going to be watching Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss in a class where we're trying to figure out who quarterback 3 is. Is it Ty Simpson? Is it someone else? It's not Lenore Sellers. It's not Brennan Sorsby after both those guys hit the portal. So who is it? That's kind of what we're talking about here. I guess it could still be Sorsby. He said he's still sorting some stuff out too in terms of that, but I tend to think he's got a portal out to Tech or LSU. So who's QB3? And does Trinidad Chambliss have a chance? And if that is the case, does that make him what's the ceiling then in terms of draft compensation as well? So we're going to talk through all of that here by live charting this quarterfinal game against Oregon, where he went 30 of 46 for 362 and 2 touchdowns, and he ran for another 14 yards. So not a ton on the ground here, but we're going to talk through all of this here with Trinidad Chambliss. And again, as always, I'm going to live chart this. I'm going to chart it as we're going here, and by the end of the video, I will show you the final product and kind of talk over it, everything there. So let's go ahead and dive on in here. Let me get the ESPN play-by-play up here. All right, this first drive ends in a punt. 7-yard completion right off the rip. All right, we got a 5-yard slant completion here, so let me go ahead and throw that up here. All right, moving on. All right, run for 2, run for 3. No gain on this completion. This is 3rd and 10. I think this is the play. Sorry. Sometimes Huddle spaces it by 2 and sometimes by 3. So this one is by 2, not 3. And I was spacing by 3. Moving forward here. So there we go. No gain here. Just again a little screen hitter. Nothing to really talk through here. Incomplete here. 2nd and 10. Boot back across the body. We'll watch the other angle here to see the placement on this. Looks like it's down on that back hip, which is going to be off target if that is the case. 32 to the 47. So we're looking at 15 yards here. Yeah, that's too far inside. Down on that inside shoulder, inside hip. It's a tough play to make. So is that outside the numbers, on the numbers, outside the numbers? Okay. Again, for charting purposes, I kind of got to know where that is ending. Again, 15 yards outside the numbers. It's going to be red on the chart for off target and incomplete. All right, moving on here. All right, 3rd and 10 here. This is my boy Dazon Stribling. If you've been following me on Twitter, I might have to put something out on him because this guy is awesome. I've really enjoyed him. Number 1 for Ole Miss. Wait, this is not the play I was looking for. Oh, yes, it is. 3rd and 7, incomplete. 3rd and 10. And that ball is off target, under pressure. 37 to the 44, so 7 yards from the hash to over the middle. And we're going to move on. DeJon Stribling had 7 catches for 122 yards in this game, including the one down the sideline to kind of get him in field goal range. All right, on to the second drive here. We got some runs to start it off. All right, we got a pass here. Two yards to Harrison Wallace. Just a little check down. I like Chambliss's willingness to check the football down. I really love it. He's pretty safe with the football. And again, we'll talk about that both in positive and a negative here, probably ongoing in this video. All right, 8 yards here to the back. All right, here, again, this is probably a part of the negative conversation about checking the football down. Again, the back gets out 8 yards here, so you can't be too overwhelmingly negative about it, right? You're still giving your playmaker a chance in space. But, I mean, we've got, looks like a couple of choice routes here. Both these guys can run choices. Or maybe it's just a speed out and a choice here. Chambliss's eyes are looking over the middle here, and this route is this guy's running right into this triangle of defenders. Not there. This hook's not here either. But this backside guy is wide open. That's Daquan Wright, tight end Daquan Wright. And so again, let's watch the end zone angle. I kind of want to see where his eyes are going off the snap here. Yeah, he's looking front side here. So I guess that's fine if like he wants to work front side and then just get to the check. So it looks like he's initially going here to this sit and doesn't really get to this backside here. But I mean, I think at this point when you see this guy sitting and this guy sitting, both kind of squatting on your sit routes here, I think his eyes should be backside already. I mean, that's wide open. So I think there's a conversation to be had with the eyes getting backside. Again, working your 2 front side progressions to check isn't a terrible process, but not working backside is, I don't know, maybe a preference thing. 37 to the 41, so 4 yards out there. Again, just an RPO stick. Nothing to talk about with RPOs. You'll see a lot of RPO sticks from this offense. So we might get through this video pretty quick if we see a lot of them, because there's nothing to talk about there. RPOs are as straightforward as they get. Chambliss for 3. A run. Okay, so this is a 14-yard pass here. 3. Again, it's a rollout, so you're only reading this defender here. On these high-lows, you're reading boundary defender. I don't know why this ball's not out, man. Boundary defender bails because we got a corner and we got a sit here. You're running a high-low. Little smash concept. Sprint out smash. You're reading this defender. If this defender sits, you're starting to look for the corner. Unless somebody is also dropping back deep here, then you might have to come back to this backside over, coming back across this way. But again, you're running a boot smash. Like, what's the deal here? Boundary corner bails. Throw the football. Right now. Ball should be out. I've noticed he tends to hold on to the football in these boots because he wants to find this backside sit. This guy's going to come here and he's going to squat on the hashes every time. This backside route. He likes to find them. More power to you. I think I'd just throw that front side sit on the high-low there, but we're looking 7 yards on the numbers, just inside the numbers. Again, I'd probably just prefer from a process standpoint to get the ball out fast and get the ball out to the low on smash, but incomplete here. I want to make sure. I just want to double check the yardage. I got the yardage right on that. That's 7 yards. Line of scrimmage to completion. Yep. Okay. Incomplete, broken up from the 39. 39. Coming backside and then knocked out the line of scrimmage. Again, that's on my chart. That's going to be an unchartable throw. So it'll be a black dot here. Throw that black dot down. And we're going to move on. Run. Incomplete pass here to Dejon Stribling. 38-yard line in motion. We got man coverage. It's a good play by Everett. Probably a little early. Could have been flagged. Those picks also never got to him. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to run a couple slants this way. And then this motion out here. It's a good man beater if these rub routes can rub this defender coming back across. But neither of these routes coming over through here rub Stribling's man free. So it's probably bad depth by those wide receivers. Play's kind of dead in the water. I honestly, I want to look at this one more time. There's a part of me that might consider like making this an unchartable throw, because Everett gets there real early. I can't chart a throw, so that's gonna be a black dot. So let me get that on there real fast. Okay. All right, Ole Miss is up 6-0, or yeah, 6-0 at this point in the game. We got a little 5-yard. I bet it's a RPO stick. It's not an RPO, but it is play action. 4 yards out there again. Again, we'll see that feathered all game long here from Ole Miss. I watched the Tulane game last night. I charted the Tulane game last night. And again, they were up in that game, 2 scores early on. And this is all they did, was RPO stick, play action stick, RPO stick, play action stick. I swear 20 of his completions were within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. All right, 22-yard gain here. Maybe we get something pushed here a little bit. We haven't had a throw really take the top off yet from the 34. 2-man concept deep over. It's a good ball. I also need to adjust my charts on some of these earlier throws that I was saying were outside the numbers. And we're going to bump them in a little bit here. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And I'm just picking up on it. I'm glad I did. These are the numbers on the college. They're playing on an NFL field. Again, I think this is Atlanta. They're playing the Mercedes-Benz Dome. So I was watching these numbers. These are not the numbers that I need to be watching for my charting purposes. These 2 hash marks are running down through here. Those are the numbers at the college level. So when I said there was a throw that was outside the numbers on that boot, and that was not. That's more over the middle of the field from my charting perspective. So I corrected that on my chart. We're good to go. All right, but this is a nice little play action deep over. Again, what they're going to do here is it's a cover 3 beater. You're going to run it over this way, and you're going to run a post over top of it. And then there's usually some shallow route coming out here to get the ball out of too. And again, if they're in cover 3, which they're showing 3 here, you're going to get bail. You're going to get bail, and you're going to get bail. You're going to make this safety either commit to the post over the top, and in that case, you throw the over underneath, or you're going to get this safety to dig on the over, and in that case, you got a one-on-one with the post over the top. That's kind of the concept. It's kind of what you're working with here. So here, the safety does take the over, but it's more, it is cover 1. This corner probably should have been poking back inside to this backside post, and he doesn't really in cover 3. A little concerning, but because it's 2-man, you basically have a one-on-one both ways now. Got this over coming over here. Safety's going to sit on the over. Again, he could have thrown the ball over the top here, but there's more distance between here. Like, there's more separation here. Harder for a safety and off man sitting back here on an over to trigger downhill than it is for a cover 3 corner matching with a deep post where it's pretty stride for stride, right? So, good decision on the numbers. So we've got 34-yard line to 4 yards plus territory. So 16, 20 yards there, hashed numbers. Good throw. Good decision, good throw. All right. Run, incomplete pass here. Just a go ball. Where's that ball leveraged? I like that ball. I'm going to have to watch the other angle, but that's, I feel like, on the money and leveraged towards the boundary and away from the defender. So that's one I tend to give credit to. I don't think that ball's necessarily tracked well. So we're looking 39, middle of the field to the 10. So 29 yards. 29 yards from line of scrimmage to the point. That's a good ball. That's a great ball. That's a beautiful ball. Excuse me. So that's going to be blue on the chart for on target that resulted in an incomplete pass. So he will get credit for that in my charting, obviously. Because that's about as well leveraged as you could ask for a deep ball. Away from the defender toward the boundary where only his man could catch it. Again, if his man is able to see this football, like he could start